We're talking about trigeminal neuralgia.
Yes, after having a root canal treatment.
For instance, a tight jaw, a little bit of facial cupping. Kinesiology, released the jaw with a TMJ, deep abdominal massage.
You did.
Some smudging, the burning the sage.
The pain in my face was constant throbbing. I can remember saying to Paul, I just want to die. I don't like admitting it.
And that is stress. Okay, just close your eyes. The right side of your jaw. Okay, and again, and hold. And as the pink glow infuses through, it can be the jaw itself. So the trigeminal nerve starts about here in spasm, muscle that has clenched. So there's been a lot of research with trigeminal neuralgia and facial cupping, healing, calming, soothing. I think the main word is soothing. So, lovely Jane, you are here for a second session with me. We're talking about trigeminal neuralgia, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I was going to announce what I'm doing, but I never know what I'm doing until I'm doing it, really.
Yeah, that's great.
It's basically facial cupping, but I'm adding other little bits of therapy that I know will help you, or even if I'm intrigued as to whether it could be a cause, so I test it out and then treat you for whatever that particular cause. For instance, a tight jaw, you know, all the other things that could be causing it. So your first session last week, I did a little bit of facial cupping. I did some kinesiology, muscle testing. We released the jaw with a TMJ, a Temporo Mandibular joint release. I think I did some amno-fu as well, which is a deep abdominal massage.
You did,
which is bizarre when you think about how can that be causing TN, trigeminal, but you never know what can be causing it. And I did some smudging, which is the burning the sage and having that lovely smoke.
It was lovely, that was.
It smells nice, doesn't it? And that helps remove obstacles. It removes negative energy, whatever might be either causing or adding to the symptoms. But first of all, can you share with me and the viewers a little bit about your story? So when did it start and how did it feel?
So as I first noticed it a couple of months, probably 2 or 3 months after having a root canal treatment. And I started with a severe shooting pain through the side of the face. That's how it began. I can remember going away with friends. We went down to London for a 40th birthday, and we'd gone out for the evening. And I can remember coming back from that evening out on the bus, and it was, I don't know, the vibration of the bus, but I had the most horrendous pain start in my head. And it was like something I've never experienced before. I honestly thought, and that sounds really dramatic, but I thought I got a brain tumour or something because it was so severe. Friends were really concerned because they could see how distressed I was. We went back to the hotel. I didn't sleep well. A friend of mine who I shared the room with, she could see I was really not very well at all. And then it kind of progressed from there, where I started to get attacks quite frequently. I went and saw another dentist because I was concerned that this root canal work had caused the problem, so they did some x-rays. The only thing they could see, there was a kink in the nerve inside the tooth, and as possible infection could have remained in there.
Okay.
She was a really good dentist, completely different to my first dentist I saw, and we went through what to do next, and she'd experienced trigeminal neuralgia before.
But with not herself? With patients?
With patients,
right.
So she gave me the option, I could have the tooth removed. So me thinking, oh yes, that'll solve the problem, won't have any more pain. So I then thought about having it removed. But I can remember starting work and the pain in my face was constant throbbing then. So I was going to work and I was having a constant throbbing pain, which isn't typical of TN because TN usually is one side. But TN, you can get both sides. So that was when it really got severe. It was daily, it was constant. And I got to the point I was going to work. I was coming home exhausted from the pain and just collapsing on the sofa. And I sort of spark out. The kids were in the house, they were, you know, making lots of noise, and I would be pretty much comatose for the evening because of the pain. And that went on then for some weeks. I can remember I kept going to work and the GP said, you've got to stop working, but I carried on, worked through it, which was really silly, and they put me on carbamazepine. So
and
that was at
just
that.
Explain what that is.
Carbamazepine, they use, it's an anti-epileptic drug which they use to treat TN. The one GP I saw, she seemed to know quite a bit about it, and she diagnosed TN. But they sent me, you sort of start at the beginning of the process, you see the ear, nose and throat, so they go through that process.
Right.
And then you end up sort of going through the oral and then neurology, so you almost go round the system until it was diagnosed. But obviously it's continued, and I've had it now 13 years.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's how it began.
So the pain.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a throbbing sensation, but I also know with trigeminal neuralgia that it can also be a spasmodic, intense,
sharp
more
pain.
acute pain. Do you get both types of pain then?
I do, yeah.
So to quantify the sort of pain you're going through, that probably most of us will never go through that kind of pain, I imagine.
Yeah.
The throbbing, what sort of level of pain would that be?
Throbbing is a constant. You can feel upper jaw pain here, and it goes right through the face. And I also had, it was very bizarre, stinging, burning. I had the root canal tooth removed, and I started with burning mouth syndrome. So not only was I getting TN pain, I was getting burning mouth syndrome. And it is TN pain. It's probably, I would say, on a scale of 1 to 10 is 10. It's one of the worst pains imaginable.
And are you talking about the spasm pain or the throbbing, spasm, or are they both about a 10?
The throbbing pains probably I can cope with. It's about, on my medication though, this is. If I wasn't on it, it might be different, but I about a 7 or an 8.
Bless you.
Yeah.
And is this every day?
Yeah, I get it most days. Very rare I get a day without pain.
Have you got it now?
No, only it's very dull. I know it's there, it's really strange, but it's not bothering me.
So interestingly, just now, you put your hands to the front of your face.
Yeah.
So you feel it in the front, you don't necessarily feel it on the sides?
I get sharp pains through here, this side of the face, but most days it's a throbbing pain through the face.
The front, okay.
Yeah.
Do you get it anywhere else?
No.
Okay.
No.
You don't get it under the jaw here?
No.
Okay.
No.
And what makes it worse?
The awful thing is it's socialising. So I know when I've had a very social evening, I can go to bed and it will throb and pound. You just feel it as soon as you lie down, and even a duvet or anything touching it, if you put your hand under your chin, it can set it off, and it's really so painful. It's very difficult to explain, but it's one of the worst pains I've ever imagined. I can remember when it began, before I was on the medication, I can remember saying to Paul, I just want to die, because that was the worst thing about it, honestly. And I don't like admitting it, but I did, and I said that to him. So it's one of those pains you don't want anyone to experience. It's worse than childbirth, I can honestly say. I even remember saying to him, I'd rather have a baby and be in childbirth than have this.
Because there's an outcome and you know it's going to stop.
Yeah.
But with this you don't know when it's going to stop.
Nothing.
Jane, I feel for you so much.
The only thing is, I suppose now, is medication helps to mask a lot of it. But you've still got it, it's just not the intense pain that I did have initially.
Okay, so talk to me through medication. So you mentioned one of them earlier, which is an anti-epileptic. Yeah. And just remind me of the name of that one.
That's carbamazepine.
Okay. Do you take anything else?
They put me on that, but it didn't suit me because I got skin rashes, which is apparently sometimes a reaction to it.
Right.
So then they put me on to pregabalin. which seems to be one of the common ones they use for it, and that one seems to give me the most relief.
Pregabalin.
Yeah.
And what's the action of that?
The action, again, it's an anti-epileptic drug. So I think I suppose it starts almost relaxes everything.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think obviously when you've got pain, you tense.
Yeah, of course.
And in your face, you do tense.
And that's going to make it worse.
Yeah.
Are you on any painkillers?
I don't now, but at the beginning, I mean, they prescribed me tramadol.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah, and I was really quite spaced out because I was taking pregabalin, which is a strong drug. And one point they gave me Oromorph, but Oromorph didn't do anything at all to it.
Did it not?
No, nothing at all. So it was a pain that could only be, I think, because it's a nerve pain. I have heard since those medications don't help it. So I didn't know this at the time. But obviously, you learn with time what helps it. Yeah.
I used to have a client who had a broken pelvis.
Yeah.
She actually fell over during being pregnant on ice and broke her pelvis, and they weren't able to do anything with her because she was pregnant, like about 6 months. And so they braced her pelvis for her and let her go through the rest of her pregnancy and childbirth. And then they put lots of pins in her and corrected the alignment of the pelvis. But obviously by then it had done a lot of temporary restructuring. And it was 16, 18 years later that she started coming to me for treatment because she was still in a lot of pain, and she was on tramadol every day and a lot of other very strong painkillers, anti-inflammatories, etc. She's still suffering now, but I am aware of how the tramadol affected her. I think it makes you almost in a trance, a little bit just numbed, like all of your senses are numbed, so you don't really feel like you're living your life.
I can relate to that, because you feel, I felt quite spaced out is probably the one thing I couldn't cope with. And when you've got a younger family, you want to make sure they're all right. And I know it massively affected Lucy, my youngest daughter, because she could see me coming home from work and I'd be on the sofa in pain, and they didn't know what to do. And it was really, really upsetting for her, because I think it was a time when she hit sort of 13, and they're very, very emotional at that age, and it definitely has an impact on everybody that you're with. So it's really difficult to cope with the medications. If I could find like an alternative now, trying facial cupping, it would be great if it could just alleviate some of the pain that I'm experiencing.
So let's bring ourselves to today and your treatment last week. So we're going to be trying a run of 6 treatments, maybe weekly, something like that. Let's see how it goes time-wise with you. And be honest with me, how did you feel before coming for your first treatment?
I suppose I was in a lot of pain before I arrived, wasn't I, that day anyway? But before my treatment, I was feeling sort of, I suppose, hopeful, but then there's that side of you thinks, I've been having this now for 13 years. You sort of think, is anything going to really work on it?
Okay.
And that's the big thing.
Doubtful.
Yeah.
And I completely understand that. You've been living with it so long. And then the treatment, which I've explained. So how did you feel after the treatment?
So relaxed was one of the biggest things. It was almost like a weight had been lifted. It was ever so weird. I mean, even because I think you worked on my stomach as well, which was, I mean, I always have the irritable bowel. I've had it since I was 18, and that was brilliant, because my stomach wasn't bloated. Normally I really suffer with bloating, and I didn't have any bloating for a few days after that as well, which is unusual for me.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I think after having all of that, it made me feel really hopeful. And then the following day, my face was burning and it felt on fire. So I think what it was doing, whether it sort of igniting everything working, because one of the things I was told with the nerves, by the neurologist. He explained that the nerves cause pain when they're at the wrong temperature as well. So he said that that's why it has an impact with sort of the cold can impact on the facial neuralgia that you get. It can impact on all of that with temperatures, wind, anything that can
What about
set it off.
heat?
Heat as well can sometimes, more so I'm better. I've noticed when I've gone abroad and it's a warmer climate, I'm much better.
I was wondering that, you know, because everything I'm doing, all of my therapies are normally about bringing warmth and heat into the area, maybe through movement, you know, how we get warm when we exercise and move. And I shift people's bodies around, like with Tuina, this Chinese massage, in order to free up the vertebrae, get the muscles warm and loose. But what that does is lovely bird outside. Is it clears the motorways of the circulation, the lymph system, so the lymph clears away our toxins and our waste. The blood brings oxygen and nutrients, and we need that constant supply and flow. And of course, the connective tissues of the nerve system of the whole body, not just the head, but the whole body. And once the communication is working and those motorways are clear, we're going to be healthier and better, aren't we?
Yeah,
it's logical.
It is, yeah. I think it was funny because I felt like my face had almost come alive that following day, and I think it had obviously stimulated everything in there. So, but it was warmth that I felt, which was interesting. Because it was only the day after.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then have you gone back to your normal levels of pain since that day?
Not too bad. I think I had a bad bout on Sunday, but again, that's because if I've done quite a lot of socialising, I'm much worse because I've been laughing a lot.
When did I treat you? Do you remember what day it was last week?
Was it Tuesday?
Was it Tuesday? Yeah. So 5 days later, you had a bad day.
Yeah.
Does it tend to be Sundays if you have a busy Saturday?
Yeah, sometimes I have been more on the weekend than during the week. I mean, I've noticed because I use the telephone a lot, and when I've been on the phone a lot, that can trigger it. It gets much worse. And also screen, because I'm concentrating.
Right.
So those, I know triggers that cause it. And if it's something against my face, because I used to hold the telephone, and I couldn't hold the telephone under the chin.
Yeah.
So I ended up then having a headset, which I much prefer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else that I haven't asked you about that would be good to relay about TN or about how you feel and your story?
No, I think you really listened to me, which was lovely. You listened to everything that I said and took that on board to try and help me, which was lovely. Of course.
I mean, because sometimes I might hear you say something and it'll trigger, I know what I can do.
Yeah, try that, yeah.
So today might be slightly different. We'll see what comes up, but it might be similar. So let's give you another nice treatment.
Lovely, thank you. Looking forward to this.
If you'd like to lie on the couch. Okay, lovely, lovely Jane.
Okay.
Oh, your feet a little chilly.
They are a bit, actually. Oh. So your bed's lovely and warm.
Oh, it is. Heated. So I'm just going to warm some socks on the radiator, and then I'll put them on.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So let's do some kinesiology again.
Okay.
I'm just going to start off from that base level. So if you could raise an arm for me, I'm going to push here. You're going to hold up to stop me pushing and hold. Yeah, that's a good hold. And the other side and hold. Okay, a little bit waving. Raise this leg for me. I'm going to push here and hold. Okay, not bad. And the other side and hold. Okay, can we raise two together and hold? Okay, just a little bit squodgy. And the other side and hold. Oh, okay, both sides. You said you had a glass of water before you came out, didn't you?
I did, but not full one.
Oh, okay. Arm and leg and hold. No? Okay, you're not dehydrated actually.
Okay.
With your finger of your left hand, can you upturn your finger and just touch the roof of your mouth? Upturn your finger, that's it. The back of the dome. Arm and leg again and hold. Okay, it's not that. Okay, you can release. Oh, this is how it came up last time. Can I have a little feel of your tummy?
Yeah.
Do you want to just undo your button for me? Thank you. Is that sore there?
Yeah, it is.
Can you put 2 fingers from this hand
Yeah.
into where mine are?
Yeah.
Deep into that area there.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
And then give me arm and leg again and hold. No, it's still squodgy. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I don't think it's shouting as loud this time. Right. You can release your hand and do your button up again. Can you put your hand on your forehead?
Yeah.
Give me arm and leg again and hold. There you go. Okay. So just to explain to you, but also to viewers, what I'm doing here. So there are 4 main areas that can affect the body at a pure foundational level.
Yeah.
And from those building blocks, other issues and ailments can happen to the body. So we've just gone through some of them.
Yeah.
We tried, so I looked for what we call an IPSI test.
Yes.
Arm and leg this side, arm and leg this side.
Yeah.
Neither passed, and they should do. So I'm looking for what could be systemically causing that in you. Okay. And at this point, when someone comes into a core therapist and they've got something serious wrong with them, and we find that they don't pass both sides, in a sort of bizarre way, a therapist gets quite excited because you know you're onto something.
Okay. Yeah.
So the first thing we tried was I pulled your hair and we tried dehydration. It wasn't that because your body didn't then go strong once I anchored dehydration. So it wasn't dehydration. So then you touched the roof of your mouth, which is a little joint in the head called the SBS, the Sphenobacillar synchondrosis.
Yeah.
And this joint is so important that it's in the right place in the head because it's a keystone to all the cranial bones.
Okay.
And we've got 20 plus cranial bones. So that means they're all out of alignment if that little joint is.
Yeah.
Also, it would mean that the glands in the head, particularly the pituitary gland, which sits just above the SBS, is also out of alignment because it sits just above this joint. Okay. And the pituitary gland governs the release of all the hormones in the body.
Yeah.
So we're talking, yes, reproductive hormones, adrenaline from the adrenals, thyroxine from the thyroid, etc., etc. All of our feel-good hormones. So that little test would be significant if it was out because it's very easy to put back in for me to do that for you, and you would feel such an amazing benefit if it was out and then put back in.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Having said that, it wasn't out because you didn't then go strong when we tested it.
Okay.
So then we tested the ICV, which is the iliosacral valve, which last week did come up.
Yeah.
I then did an amno-fu and then it passed. So I knew then that you were onto the straight and narrow with the gut and the workings of the digestive system. It wasn't that. So then we tested another thing that could be causing it when you touched your frontal bone, your forehead, and that is stress.
Okay.
So in core therapy, we never really used to test for stress until maybe 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe the start of COVID was when we started seeing a lot more mental upset in people that actually made a difference, an effect on them physically.
Yeah.
So you were definitely stronger when we test for stress.
Yeah.
So I will definitely be working with you today to help relieve, like on a physical, but yes, psychological, physiological way, any stress levels.
Okay. No, that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
okay. So I think I'm going to go straight to that and do that now, and then I'm going to retest your ipses, and I'm hoping they're going to be strong.
Okay.
Okay, just close your eyes and take 3 nice long breaths. Okay, just take a breath, come back into the room. It's a nice tranquil feeling, isn't it? You can keep your eyes closed if you want to, it's up to you. But I just need to do a test with you. So can you raise this arm? Yeah, perfect. And this leg. I'm going to push with both. You're going to hold up and hold. So much better. Can you feel the difference?
Can actually.
So the leg bounced a bit, but it was far less squodgy.
Yeah.
I'd like to test this side and hold. Again, much stronger. So I'll definitely be testing and maybe treating stress every time you come. Stress affects us all, and it does affect us on a physical level. So we feel so much lighter and lifted when we don't have that black cloud over us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to move on. I want to check the jaw, so I'm actually going to ask you to raise this arm and this leg. I'm going to push with both. You're going to hold up and hold. Okay, so gone back to being squodgy. Arm and leg again and hold. Same again. I'm not surprised because of your symptoms. So can you put 2 fingers there?
Just there.
Just under where your cheekbone touches your ear, yeah, which is the jaw hinge.
That, yeah.
Yeah. And then arm and leg, and hold. Okay, still squodgy a bit. Can you put these two fingers over on that one?
These ones there, like that.
Yeah. And then this arm and leg, and hold. Not perfect, okay. And then either of your hands, two fingers, just here, you can release this one. So you got that side, yeah. And then arm and leg, this one, and hold. Ah, there we go. Okay. Ah, this rings a bell. Was it your right side of the jaw last time? I think it might have been. I'll have to check my notes.
Yeah.
Then bring this hand over to this side of the jaw, arm and leg,
This one.
and hold. So much better. Okay. So what we've discovered is that your jaw is affecting what I call a contralateral test, which is being able to do that and that. It's the walking mechanism. Which all comes from the neck, and the neck is joined to the jaw, so it's the jaw that is affecting you walking. The jaw will be affecting so much more as well, but I'm going to definitely be treating the jaw now. I just had a thought about something else. Oh yeah, I just want to check that in my notes. Ah yes, that's what I want to do, I know. Did we do this last time?
No, I don't think we did.
Okay.
No.
So can you just bite in the centre of your teeth? That's it, on there for me. And actually just release that a second. Just bending your elbow, give me thumb to little finger, and I'm going to try and pull apart. You're going to hold them together really strong and hold. Okay, I'm really pulling and you're really strong. So we're just going back to in the centre there, lovely. Back to this one, little finger and thumb, and hold. Right, you're fine. And then this side of your jaw, and again here, and hold, really strong. And then the right side of your jaw, okay, and again, and hold. Oh, sorry. So it's right and right. And didn't you tell me in the chat that there was more
pain this
feeling
side
in your right side? Yeah. So it's not only the jaw hinge here, just under the zygomatic bone, the cheekbone, that maybe is misaligned. Probably is, because it's okay the other side. So it feels like it's like dropped on that side and tightened on that side maybe. But it's also the way that your teeth, as in inside your jaw, are closing. So centre and left are passing, they're fine. So whatever's going on in your right hand side isn't affecting the right side of your jaw and the centre and, the left side of your jaw and the centre and left side of your teeth close, but it is affecting the right side of your teeth close. This is something we'll keep testing every time you come back, and it'll be really interesting to see how that progresses. Because with most of my clients, whatever issues they come for, I'm looking for progression. I'm looking for improvement every time. I don't want you to improve on your sixth. You know, I want you to have improvements all the way through and just keep getting better. So these are sort of little markers that we put in order to see in your tests if you're getting better, not just from when you walk away and for your next week and you feeling better and I felt a bit better and my sleep's better. I want actual markers. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
So I'm now going to have a little feel of your jaw. Tell me if it's too much, won't you?
No, it's fine.
Okay, Okay, just relax, 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 relax. Relax the jaw. Beautiful. Unlock the tongue from the top of the mouth. Let it just float in the bottom of the mouth, and then don't even think about the tongue, just let it be. And breathe. Breathe through the nostrils, feeling that beautiful healing, cooling oxygen coming in through the nostrils, and warming, gorgeous oxygen leaving the nostrils. Just tuning into the breath. And then sending all of your positive energy, all of the beautiful person that you are, all of your healing intention to your jaw. Picturing the jaw, picturing sending a beautiful, big, pink heart to the jaw, especially on your right-hand side. Seeing the jaw being encompassed in a pink haze. And as the haze infuses around the skin, into the mechanism of the jaw, into the teeth, into the tongue, the gums, into the bones around the cranium, the areas that can be painful at the front of the face, the zygomatic bone of the cheekbones, the nasal bone, the maxilla and mandible of the jaw, seeing the whole area being infused with a pink glow from a heart. And as the pink glow infuses through into the jaw hinge, see the hinge smiling in gratitude. See the hinge releasing any blockage or tightness, any misalignment, even the minutest of movements and release. Bit by bit, see the jaw balancing and aligning. Okay, bless you. Take a breath. Keep your eyes closed if you want to. It's up to you. And just raising this arm, raising the opposite leg. I'm going to push with both. You're going to hold up nice and strong and hold. Amazing. And the others, and hold. amazing. There's a tiny bounce there, but nothing like it was before.
Okay.
So that's going to improve
Okay.
week on week. And what I'm aiming for is for each of your muscles, muscle tests, to be like steel, to be absolutely ramrod strong, and for you not even to have to put in any effort at all.
Okay.
Effortless, which is how it gets eventually.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm now going to do a bit of smudging again.
Okay, yeah.
Which is burning the lovely sage.
Yeah, lovely. Oh.
So just for the benefit of the viewers, when we burn this gorgeous bundle of sage, we have a window open in order that any negative energy, anything that we don't value or waste in the body, that we don't need anymore, all of that negativity comes out of the body and out of the window to be recycled and come back into the world to be used in a good way. So I'm particularly wanting to do the jaw, but I will be doing the whole body here, clearing from anywhere else that might be contributing to the pain. So it could be stress. Can be the jaw itself, could be the teeth into the roots, it could be the abdomen at the ileocecal valve, and then just using this beautiful smudging feather to blow the sage smoke over the entire body. And then particularly around the right side of the jaw, balancing up by doing the left side.
It smells so lovely, that sage. It's really nice. It's very relaxing.
It is, isn't it? You know, sage has been used for centuries.
Yeah, I didn't realise that. Yeah.
I'm just going to put a hairband round. Thank you, lovely.
Okay.
So you've got lovely makeup on, but I'm going to remove that if that's okay.
I always put it on because I went out this morning and I'm just habit, isn't it?
That's all right.
My skin was lovely after the one last week.
Oh, good.
It was really nice. It was just, I don't know, I felt much clearer. My complexion as well. So I don't know the combination of that and the facial cupping.
I'll leave your eye makeup on.
Oh, thank you.
Because I won't be cupping on the eye line.
Okay.
I'll just be cupping round the jaw and cheeks and forehead.
Okay.
I'm going to be putting on the Facial Cupping Expert Prickly Pear Seed Oil, which is the oil recommended with the facial cupping set, and it is the most amount of vitamin E that you can get in an oil, even more than argan oil. So it's so good for the skin.
Smells lovely, actually. It does as well.
It's quite subtle. It's nice. It's got a lovely scent. So I'm just going to do the jawline to start off with. Last week we also did the décolleté and up the neck, but just going to look at the face today. We'll probably go back to doing the whole facial cupping next time. Just want to vary the treatments each time.
Okay.
How's this feeling, Jane?
Yeah, no, it feels okay, actually.
It's quite strong, isn't it, facial cupping?
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah.
You know, you can really feel it's doing something. It's almost like working the muscles as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because it's not just the skin being gently sucked up into the whole of the whole area of the cup, but it's actually that little bit of fascia.
It's like you're having a workout for your face.
Yes. Yeah. It's doing its exercise. So there's been a lot of research with trigeminal neuralgia and facial cupping, and it does show that facial cupping is fantastic to help relieve the symptoms and maybe even the cause, because it's generating circulation, it's boosting the blood flow, and quite often where there's TN, it's because of an in spasm muscle that has clenched and, if you like, cut off the circulation to that area, and therefore trapping nerves and stopping correct messaging systems from the neural pathways.
That does make total sense, actually, when you read up on it. So I could see why this would help it as well, because it is almost working out your face, isn't it, when you're doing that?
That's right. So the trigeminal nerve actually starts about here, around where the jaw hinge is, and it branches into 3 areas, hence the name trigeminal, and it branches up here and then has lots of branches over the forehead. It branches down and then up into the cheeks, so it sounds like that's the one that you're feeling the most. And then it branches down and under the mouth and around the chin and jawline, hence the trigeminal. So in facial cupping training for therapists, we like to stimulate this area here first. I mean, a nightmare for me would be causing worse pain or a worse week for you. That is really what I want to avoid. But in trying different techniques, there's always that risk and worry that that's what it might do. So I'm just putting all my positive energy into that not happening, and it just creating a really calm, good week for your face. Yeah. So what we're doing here is starting off on the branch, the trunk, if you like, of the trigeminal nerve, and then we're coming up in the 3 areas where the trigeminal nerve stretches, so into the forehead, into the cheeks, and down into the jaw. And there are lots of different ways to use cupping. So viewers on my channel will have seen me use fire cupping in many different ways. So starting off, we're going to use a form of cupping where I'm just going to hold it on and just agitate it a little bit, just moving it like this. Getting a nice grip and then moving. How does that feel?
Yeah, that feels okay.
Yeah.
It's like a little, it's almost like a little sucking sensation on your skin.
It's a really meaty kiss, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That's one way of describing it.
But do tell me at any time if there's anything that's not comfortable for you, won't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah. No, it's all fine at the moment.
So then we do moving cupping. That's another form. Over the jawline, the cheeks, and the forehead. And then, of course, flash cupping, where we come on and off along those 3 branches, making gorgeous little sucking noises. So Jane, I would really encourage you to carry on doing this kind of work at home in between treatments.
Okay.
The facial cupping set comes with 4 cups, so 2 that I'm using now and 2 small ones I'll be using in a moment.
Yeah.
It also comes with a little brush to be able to clean them out, and the prickly pear seed oil in a nice big bottle, so you've got plenty of oil there, because they encourage you to use plenty of oil with cupping, and particularly a really good quality one, because when we use good quality products before doing cupping, the cupping encourages really good absorption into the skin's layers of that product. So you're getting the prickly pear seed oil deep into the dermal layers. So
it's almost having a treatment at the same time, isn't it?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just using the little cups now symmetrically around the eye sockets, the orbital bone, and into all the areas that also might be causing tightness and spasm in that TN nerve.
I do feel it through into my face and eyes. I did at the beginning get crawling across my forehead. Which that's how I think they recognised it was the nerves, because the crawling apparently is one of the signs.
Gosh, James.
It was horrible at the beginning.
I think everyone watching this is going to feel so much compassion for you.
It's just trying to sort of describe it, isn't it? It's really difficult.
Well, they will be
gone through it, isn't it?
Well, that's it. There will be some viewers who are suffering with it and are doing a little bit of a Google search to try and work out what it is and how it can be treated, and try and see other people's stories. So you're an inspiration, Jane. You're helping so many people just to find out what they're trying to get to grips with.
To see if it works, isn't it, as well? Trying something new.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm just going to come around the lips now.
I've also heard, sort of researching a little bit, it helps with migraines, doesn't it, as well? And so it's got multiple things that it can help with.
A lot of people use it for vanity, if you like.
Yeah.
So wrinkles and lines and markings on the face. Yeah. No, it's really good anti-aging. So if you like, it's like a natural Botox.
Which is much better to have something natural going on, isn't it?
Okay. Just feeling into the nerve again, just sending it some really good vibes, healing, calming, soothing. I think the main word is soothing, just reducing spasm, relieving tightness, and infusing a soothing, calm, balanced jaw.
Oh, that was lovely, thank you.
Yeah.
Feels like my face has come alive now.
Oh.
It's lovely.
In a good way?
No, in a good way.
Oh, good. Looking beautiful. You've got such a gorgeous complexion, Jane.
Thank you.
So take 3 nice long breaths and have a good long stretch.
Oh, that was lovely, thank you. Feel very relaxed. It's a shame I've got to go to work.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
my pleasure.
Oh, I feel so relaxed now, too. Thank you.